Hi, I'd like to share with you a nice simple technique that you can use if you've got a list of options or suggestions and you want to know how to prioritise them. As you can see, we've got a nice simple grid here with 4 squares on it. Along the side here it says ease of impact of implementation. Bottom we've got low impact, top we've got high impact. So what we do is look at each of the suggestions and look at what sort of impact each of them will have if they're implemented. It doesn't make much difference at all if it's not going to have any significant effect. It would be right down the bottom here at low impact, but if it's going to make a huge difference and a huge effect, then it would be up here as high impact. So if something's going to have a high impact, it would go in one of these 2 squares here. Something is going to have a low impact, goes in one of these 2 squares here. Then along the bottom we have ease of implementation. So this side, something's going to be easy to do, whether that be in terms of time, effort or money, then it would go along this side. If it's going to be difficult, it's going to go along this side. So something that's going to be easy to implement is going to be in one of those 2 squares, something that's going to be difficult to implement in one of those 2 squares. So as a result of all of that, something's going to be high impact and easy to do, we'll go in this square here. If it's going to be high impact but difficult to do, it goes in this square here. If it's going to be low impact but easy to do, it goes in this square here. And if it's low impact and difficult to do, it goes in this square here. So to illustrate how this might work, I'll give you an example of a list of options on how to get fitter. Okay, so if we look at how we're going to get fitter, I drew up a list of options, and one of these was to walk for 30 minutes each day. Now I put it in this square here because walking for 30 minutes every day will have an impact on our health, and it's easy to do as long as we've got 30 minutes to spare. We don't need any specialist equipment, we don't need to be in any particular location, we can just walk for 30 minutes a day, and it's something that even relatively unhealthy people should do without any problem, but doing consistently it will have an impact on our health. So that's high impact and easy, and it's done in this square up here. Look down the list, and another of the options that I had was to join a gym. Now again, this should have a high impact on our health, but it might be a bit more difficult to do for several reasons. First of all, it could be expensive. The location might be an issue, how we're going to get there. Also, visiting the gym usually takes more than 30 minutes, so it might be difficult to fit in with our lifestyle. So although it's high impact, it might be quite difficult, so I think that should go in the square here. Okay, then I looked at my list, and another of the options that I had was to buy a nice outfit for keeping fit in, something nice and modern that looked really good, and then I thought, which square should that go in? So as far as actually keeping fit is concerned, it's not really going to help me keep fit. Difficult? Is it difficult? Well, it might be quite expensive. You've got to go out and buy it and choose it. So I think that's probably relatively low impact. It won't make much difference to my health, and it might be relatively difficult, so I'll put buy sports clothes in that square there. Right, what else have I got down on my list? I've got here download an app, widely available, particularly if you have a smartphone or an iPhone. Just get an app where you can keep track of your daily exercise, what you're eating, and so on. And that would be either probably free, or certainly wouldn't cost you that much, but it's not going to have that much of an impact on your actual fitness levels. So I think that would go in this section here. So we would have download app here, low impact and easy. And then finally, the fifth option that I had was to eat healthily. Now, as far as our health is concerned, if we're eating better, that should have a high impact. It could be difficult for several reasons. It might be expensive to buy the food, it might be difficult to get hold of some of the foods, and we also might need to prepare them in a special way. So I think although that's high impact, it could be quite difficult, so that needs to go in this section here. So if we could eat healthily. Okay, so our 5 options are now placed in our boxes. Okay, so what does this mean? If we look at our first box here, the high impact and easy to do, we could look at those as being quick wins. So it makes sense to do these first. Then if we move across to here, these are high impact, difficult to do, so these are certainly worth doing, but they might take a little longer, need a bit more effort, so we'll put these as next steps. So do second. Come down here. These are something that we might want to do long term. So probably do those third. And finally, things that are difficult to do and aren't going to have much of an impact. Well, these are things that might be nice to do, but really they're not going to be worthwhile. So for these, I would say don't bother. Okay, so of our 5 options now, we have a bit of a plan coming together, in that first of all we're going to start walking for 30 minutes a day. We're then going to join the gym and start eating healthily. Maybe download an app to track our progress as we're going along, but certainly at this stage we're not going to bother buying any sports clothes. So I hope that's helped you, and try applying it to some of your decision making and see how you get on. Thank you.